Today in class, when these muscles are weak and the thigh starts to descend down onto the medial knee, the MCL just happens to control these abductors here. So when it feels strained, it sends a signal to create a splinting muscle spasm to help take the pressure off of it. So that creates hypertonicity, not necessarily because of the muscle being stuck in a position for a long time or activity, but often because of weakness. So first we're going to do it's not the best assessment of hip flexor tension, but we'll lift here, and just so everyone can see pretty clearly how tight he is. And if anyone else wants to check it out, they're welcome to. But what we're going to do is, what Arik figured out, Arik Gohl is this guy's name, G-O-H-L, is he figured out which ligaments tend to control which muscles. It's expanding rapidly, actually, as we work together. But it's the sacrococcygeal or the coxosacral, whatever, I don't know how they say it. But that's the ligament that controls psoas and iliacus. That's primarily what we're going after here. This isn't going to have much effect on, say, the adductors, which are also hip flexors, or rectus femoris, which is also quite a powerful hip flexor. So we've seen that range of motion. We see the stiffness there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to shorten that hip flexor by bringing his thigh up as far as it'll go. Go ahead and lay your face in the hole so you won't be able to see anything anyhow. And I'm going to find the spot I need to be on. The trick with this is if you're not on the ligament, it ain't going to do anything. And that's been my struggle, being a muscle guy. Now I'm having to study and learn about ligaments. So you follow it down to the big bump there, and that's pretty much where the coccyx begins.
Top of the butt crack?
Just about. It's a little bit.
That looks like
it's about an inch above the hole.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Just wondering. I'm like, where's one is? Yeah.
The good news is, if you go back and check and you realize you didn't succeed, just try it again, and you'll find it. And I can come around and try to find it on each person. Give a little palpation so your partner can guide you if you're not sure where it is.
Okay.
So I shorten the muscle that I'm going after, and then what I'm going to have my client do is we're going to do an isometric contraction, but your effort should be minimal, 1% effort, baby effort. I need to put pressure into the ligament that bends it. The ligament in this case runs more or less north to south, so my pressure is going to go obliquely up towards his opposite shoulder. So now what I want you to do is to gently push your heel into my thigh. That's going to get his hamstring and glute firing. Doesn't take much pressure. Too much pressure will excite. And considering where my hand is, we don't want that.
Yeah.
Round 2, go ahead and push again. Usually do 2 or 3 in each position, depending on the muscle, depends on how many positions we do this in. Now go ahead and rest. Going to take them down into another position, and you'll kind of figure it out as you go. Once again, push your heel into me. What's really important here is you want to get the glute firing, so sometimes people might straighten their knee as they push into you, and that's going to be more of a quad, so just pay attention to what you see happening here. Rest. And I always like to double check. Go for it again. So it's really, Arik likes to say eyeball pressure. It doesn't take a whole lot. Rest. You should also notice under your fingers, as you push, you'll probably feel some creep. It'll feel like the tissue is trying to get out from under your pressure. Find it again. Now this time what I want you to do is push your heel right into your calf. Rest. And do it again, please. I'm going to do one last position. The further the leg is down, the more proximal it goes. So when the leg is all the way down here, the fibers that are going to be released are more directly on the spine. When the leg is further up, it's going to be more down towards the lesser trochanter. Pretend to lift your leg. There you go. You can even give less effort than that if you want. You'll definitely know you're in the wrong spot if you feel the glute maximus. Kick your finger up. Rest, because you should really feel bone under you. Go again. again, please. One more time. Now, especially because I'm under the gun there, I better have gotten this right, or I'm going to look like a fool in front of a whole bunch of the world. So now,
Holy cow.
Yeah.
and I know that probably the biggest difference you'll feel is it probably feels lighter, easier to move. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but that's the most common things people say.
Those feel lighter.
So he's pretty tight. His rectus femoris is also quite tight. He's going to need a few other releases. We'll do it on the other side as well, and it'll be totally fine for Zach to come and double up on you because you're stiff there.
This side would be worse.
So yeah, let's get the range of motion to make sure that we can get some idea of where it was before. You can also do palpation tests, but it's hard to palpate the iliacus and psoas. He's right. This side is definitely worse.
Is that the side I got ran over?
Yes.
So we got some good history here. Okay, so let's see.
Did you say Rand?
Go ahead and push your heel down into me.
Yeah.
Right, the way you're looking at it. That's a bad
So what this
view.
does is it
Well,
takes
it's
away
good so you know where you're sticking your
hypertonicity.
fingers.
It's a muscle.
It took
Gets it
like,
ready
in
to
the
be
camera, it looks
stretched
like it's
or gets it ready to be strengthened, depending on what your goal is. And rest. Also, if you're going to be massaging them, just imagine if you don't have to spend your time elbowing in and cranking away. Go ahead and push your heel down into me. You can focus a bit more into relaxation with the client instead of trying to work your way through layers of dense tissue. Rest. And again, please.
Are you feeling it change?
It is a pocket of milk. It's like the
What I feel is there's a
and if I sew it
tendency of the tissue underneath to
yeah.
kind of try to wiggle out from under my fingers. I'd learned that that's called creep. I don't know why they decided to call it creep, but I mean, I understand it's creeping out from under your fingers, but still, when you're massaging people, it seems strange. So go ahead and push into your calf. So I hold just to give him a brace for his calf.
And you said an extra one because it's so tight on that side. You did an extra like.
Rest. No, I'm
Leg
doing the
action?
same thing I did on the other side.
Oh, I
Go ahead.
didn't. I didn't know you stopped there. Oh, no, I didn't know he stopped. I had it push against his own leg.
I sure did.
I missed that. Get a little X marks as
Go
well.
ahead and
It's too short.
gently lift.
I mean, just put a little sticker right there so every time you
What is she, Chief?
Rest.
Have you met her?
One more time. Rest. And once again, oh boy, I got it. Oh, it's better, but geez.
But not.
This feels a little bit more lateral. What's your feedback?
I agree.
Okay, so that's his rectus femoris. Maybe TFL is quite stuck, even sartorius. Those are different releases. But let's all part